Hello again, and once more welcome back to Winter Wonderland Zoo. We are going to be putting in some Arctic foxes. When I started building this, I was a little unsure what color scheme I wanted. I was considering, as you can see here, the classic red and gold, but I'd been doing that for a while. Red, gold, green. I have a lot of habitats to build, and I don't want all of them to look the same. Ended up going for more of a red and silver theme, which I haven't done before, so I think that turned out quite good. I've been saying that a lot, haven't I? Turns out good. This looks really nice. Once again, I'm doing the entire voiceover in one take, so, hi. Yeah, putting down that fence piece was not easy. It is a little more stiff than a lot of the fences that I create, especially since the bottom piece has both a left and a right side. Usually when I copy it over, I, as you can see, didn't copy the right side here, the right, well, the pillar. But in this case, the bottom part of it is there. No choice. So I ended up sort of having to jimmy them into each other like that and just match it up as good as I could. And as you can see, even the slight change in terrain height going up this really not very steep incline really does change the way the thing looks. And this is where I ran into problems. Yeah, that was a lot of back and forth right there. So, when in doubt, cover it with rocks. And more rocks. You can see the shadow of the floating roof. That worked quite well last time, so I decided to do that again. It is really difficult to work in this Arctic biome when you can't actually see the ground because it's covered by snow 90% of the time. So if you only work based on it being snowy, then suddenly the snow thaws and everything looks like poop and shies. That was me swearing as if doing so in a different language made it different. I always seem to end up using the dry stone. I did not use it for the fence this time. I'd like to point that out. But the color works well with these rocks here, so. I mean, is that fence way over the top? Of course it is. But sometimes when you do Christmas, you gotta really do Christmas. Now the bottom piece here is actually from the Indian. Well, it says Indian, so it must be from the Southeast Asian pack. And the piece I'm going to be using in a minute is from the North African pack. So I'm doing Christmas using Indian and North African pieces, which may not be intuitively the first thing you think about doing, but the degree of ornamentation can work exceptionally well, I found, if you just recolor it. So the things on top are European. The wood pieces might even be from the Asian pack, in which case I'm closing in on having every single continent represented in one custom fence. I mean, that might be a goal. More rocks. Yeah, actually the foxes could walk up that, I realized later. I decided to cut the video further in where I did this extra little fence up there. So you're gonna see it at the very, very end. I put in a mesh fence at the top. There we go with the African pack. And again, is it completely over the top? Yes. Yes, it is. And I'm here for it. This cave may look like it has a somewhat sensible size at this point, but once I put the foxes in there, I realized how absolutely huge it is compared to them. So that is one thing I would have changed if, well, if I'd done it differently from the beginning. The trees that I'm choosing for this quite deliberately are the ones with naked trunks at the bottom so that the guests can see all the way to the back, even though there are trees everywhere. The issue, of course, is that the foxes are so tiny that even putting grass in there almost hides them. Those of you who have been watching my franchise series, my regular franchise series, you'll know that I've talked about realism several times, and realism versus naturalism, because a lot of the time a habitat in a zoo is not full-on nature. It's not nature, it's a zoo, and it has to have different functions. For instance, you would put up an airlock so that the animals can't just run out the door and, yeah, because then you're in trouble. Now with the little foxies here, not sure how much safety you need beyond that, but if you put in a larger animal, a larger predator especially, then you're definitely going to have to put in some kind of security for the keepers. Whereas in the game, they just walk in there with a giant vacuum cleaner and everyone's fine. Apparently the animals know not to bite the hand that feeds them. I really do like that Yorkshire fog grass. And one thing I love about sandbox mode is that you can turn off the animals caring that that stuff does not grow where they live. Because, I mean, realistically, grass is grass, and a fox doesn't eat it, so why would it care? And there we are. That is the finished habitat. I'm going to be showing you a few different angles here, and also telling you what you can expect in the coming days. Tomorrow, we will be putting in penguins, not the African kind, obviously, although those are the ones you've seen on my channel so far. With the penguins, we'll be putting in an ice cream shop called Frosty Feathers. And the theming, the color, will be different from anything that we've done so far. I will start repeating myself, but not quite yet. We're gonna go for more of a, well, frosty theme with some white and blue. And after that, we have quite a few episodes of putting in 2 animals in separate habitats in one episode. So on December 7th, we're putting in a lynx and a leopard. They will not be sharing a habitat, but they will be built back to back and sharing a rock structure. So it does kind of make sense. And while these foxes get to know each other, I hope to see you again tomorrow. And I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you choose to do with it.